Sprinkle amiguis, today is going to be a unpopular opinion on fashion kind of beauty space. I have about 12 of them that I want to talk about today. I thought this would be a really great chit-chatty videos because these are my favorite type of videos that I watch when I'm on YouTube. Sometimes I'll watch haul videos, but not always. I usually like to watch like longer sit-down videos. So like when Tati Westbrook does sit-down videos, or some of my other favorite content creators do a video that's over like 30 minutes plus. I love it because sometimes I'm like driving to work, or sometimes like I go to Houston a few times a month. So, you know, having those longer commutes, like a 4-hour commute to Houston to Dallas, like 2-3 times a month, you know, I love to listen to longer format videos, kind of like a podcast. So let's go ahead and get started because there are a lot of unpopular opinions that I have, and there's some really unpopular opinions. So let me know if you agree or disagree, and let's go ahead and get started. Number one is no surprise, and it is that Gucci is going to die with Demna as the creative director at Gucci. I know some people like love to ride for Demna. I am not. I'm very much anti that type of person. I don't like Balenciaga because he is a creative director. I don't like about the campaigns. I'm not going to go into detail because everybody knows at this point. But I was very shocked that Kering decided to make Gucci, to put him as their creative director for Gucci. When you look at the revenue, I believe like almost 40 or 50% of Gucci's revenue, of Gucci's money that they make is in leather goods, and then it's footwear, and then it's ready to wear, and then it's all these other categories. But I really think that this is going to strike them to their core. Whoever thought of this idea is definitely working with LVMH, allegedly, to take Kering down, because I cannot believe that they let this happen. So you know, I'm not going to be buying any more Gucci. I will not be looking for Gucci. Now that Demna is going to be the creative director, you won't me catching wearing Gucci anymore. I will still wear the few pieces that I have, which is like a couple of shoes and maybe like a wallet. That's all I have from Gucci. Maybe like a few pieces of ready to wear, but I'm not going to go out of my way to shop Gucci, especially now that we are going to this current era. And I do want to ask you guys this question. Now that he is leaving Balenciaga, how would you feel if somebody were to wear new Balenciaga under a new creative director, or wear anything before his time at Balenciaga? I would love to hear your thoughts of that. Do you think that he tainted the brand now that he's going to leave? And do you think now after he left, do you still think that Balenciaga is still tainted? Or you think it has an opportunity to redeem themselves under this new creative director that they're going to put in there? So this is something that I really want to ask you guys, because I'm not sure what you guys would think about this. I don't know, I still kind of have like a weird taste about Balenciaga, but we shall see. Number two is the Van Cleef bracelet drama. So if you are on TikTok, you guys already know about what happened. There was this girl that went to the Van Cleef in Hawaii, the only boutique that's there. And basically she ended up buying a 5-motif gold bracelet, and it ended up tarnishing. And she recorded the employees basically gaslighting her and kind of bullying her and telling her that there was nothing wrong with the bracelet. And so she made this whole series on TikTok, which I'm going to be playing some snippets right now.
Part 2 of the Van Cleef bracelet purchase. I called customer service yesterday just to let them know that this bracelet is still tarnished even after I got it cleaned 2 times with the ultrasonic jewelry cleaner. We also sent this to the Van Cleef boutique, and you guys still sent this back to me still tarnished. And what the lady on the phone said, the customer service agent said, is that there is no warranty on these bracelets or any jewelry pieces besides watches. So if this were to tarnish, if this were to fade or rust after the 30-day window, you can't return it. She basically told me that it's all up to the boutique and what they want to do, which I already know what they want to do. Kathy told me that, you know, I only had those 2 options. Either I pay to send it back to New York City to get it repolished again, that'll cost me $180, or I have to pay to change this motif. And if you know, you know that these motifs are expensive and I shouldn't be paying for it even after 2 months of it starting to tarnish. If I knew that it was going to tarnish, I would not have purchased this. This just left such a bitter taste in my mouth, Van Cleef in general, because I thought that this was a luxury store. I thought that they had better customer service, better exceptional pieces that they made, and I thought that they stand behind their pieces. Each and every piece should not tarnish. And if it does tarnish, they should want to fix it for you, right? Like, as a brand, like, if there's something wrong, I would be like, let me help you fix it. No, they don't even want to help me fix it. The manager at the store is making like there's nothing wrong with this piece.
There's no discoloration. That's your finger reflection in it.
And by the way, I was being very patient with Van Cleef. I feel like I literally was waiting 4 months for them to help me try to fix this. And now that it came back from the boutique, you know, being professionally polished, now that it came back and now they're telling me that there's nothing wrong with it and how like she can't see it, now I feel like I have to speak up about it. Like, why is my Van Cleef bracelet still tarnished? Like, Van Cleef, you're like a huge luxury brand and you should stand behind all your pieces. If it tarnishes, you should fix it. There should be a warranty in place. But no, it's like, why don't you have warranty on these jewelry pieces? Like, that is like questionable for me. Like, why do you guys not stand behind your jewelry? If this is 18 karat real yellow gold, you should stand behind your pieces. If it does tarnish, you should fix it. Want to help me fix it. I mean, I'm honestly just as shocked as you guys are. I honestly was not expecting any gifts, but here we are. We have a bag of, I don't know what it is, but it's really heavy. I also have this beautiful orchid plant. There's the card. Maybe we have an apology letter from Kathy in this card. So you guys are seeing this first. Dear Monica, thank you for sharing your experience with us. We genuinely appreciate the valuable feedback you've provided about our brand. Please accept our sincerest apologies and we look forward to welcome you again in the future. Sincerely, Nancy, which is the regional director, the one that I was on the phone call with, Kathy, and the Ala Moana team. That's where I purchased this bracelet, was from the Ala Moana Van Cleef location. We only have one location in Hawaii and it's at Ala Moana Shopping Center. So that was very thoughtful that Nancy wrote this card to me. I know it's Nancy that wrote this card too because it said Nancy's name first. She's a regional director. She's the one that called me on the phone and she apologized on behalf of Kathy. So thank you so much, Nancy, for sending this over. Okay, so let's open it up and see what it is. This is beautiful packaging. They literally this is honestly so funny. Now that I'm reading it, I don't know if they're sending this over to me to try to educate me on their Van Cleef pieces, because when I look at it, it's basically like the process, I think, of Van Cleef and how they make their jewelry. It literally shows you the process of how to craft the freaking motif. Wow. Okay. Well.
And so anyway, so what ended up happening is they went back and forth. Corporate called her, they took the bracelet back and they gave her a refund. Somebody went to pick it up from her home. And then also they sent her a sorry gift with a bouquet of flowers and a book about like the history of Van Cleef, the heritage of Van Cleef, which I think was kind of shady for them to give her that. And there's a big Van Cleef shopping bag. And so my thoughts and my opinions about this is somebody who actually works retail, somebody who knows a lot of friends that work in a lot of the expensive stores in Highland Park Village, all of the expensive stores at North Park. I wouldn't say my store that I work at is like bougie or anything like that, just because it's more contemporary. But I do have a lot of friends who have higher positions in retail or in higher up in corporate, just because I get along with everybody. So, you know, when you're nice to everybody, you do make some decent connections. And so it is true, like I will say, like how I always said, a lot of these bigger multi-billion-dollar brands do not care about you. If you are not the majority, if you're not buying, let's say a clothing brand, if you're not buying consistently ready to wear bags, shoes, in every single category, they do not care about you. They do not care about your dollar. They do not care if you just go in once every, let's say, even season, and you go and you buy just one thing. They don't care. The more you spend on a monthly basis, or even like in a 3-week basis, depending on the store, I mean, that's how it just kind of is. It kind of like luxury fashion has always starting to turn into fast fashion. I've always said that in other videos. And so I think that Van Cleef, this is a prime example of when I tell you guys that just because it's designer, just because it's luxury, just because doesn't mean that you're going to get that A+ experience. And you know, it's really sad that a lot of these people put these brands on a pedestal, and I have kind of woken up from that. Like, if I don't get, I know when she bought the bracelet, she got good customer service, but let's say as a returning customer, you should always expect that great customer service as well, regardless if you have an issue with an item or not. When you manufacture stuff, there's always going to be manufacturing issues. It doesn't matter if you're a big brand under LVMH or if you are a small up-and-coming brand. There's always going to be issues in the manufacturing process. And so when you take care of a defect, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to take care of the customer. So when I worked at Marc Jacobs, for example, there was some bags that did have defects. You know, that, like I said, it just comes with being a big brand. It just comes with doing business. And you know, every time we had that issue, we would always 100%, even though our return policy, I don't know if it's changed from Marc Jacobs, but at the time it was exchange only or like credit only. And so if we did have some faulty handbags, and we would always offer a full refund, we would always offer our sincerest apologies. You know, especially if we had a client that lived in, when I worked at the Marc Jacobs in Houston, in Katy, if you lived in Katy, Texas, if you lived all the way to the Woodlands and you drove all the way there, best to believe we were very apologetic, we were very sympathetic. We were always wanting to do what the customer would do. And sometimes even if they exchange it for something, we may give them a slight discount of 15% off. Not that they would do that in luxury stores, but I'm telling you, like, even in a contemporary store like that, we would always take care of the customer. Another example, like for Tory Burch, I remember like a long time ago, my mom had bought a handbag way before I was associated with Tory Burch, and I remember she had some glazing issues, and they took the bag back, no questions asked, and offered her a replacement, apologized, and you know, you whatever makes you happy, either a gift card, refund, replacement, whatever you wanted, with the best top tier customer service. So it's really crazy how a lot of these contemporary brands, and I know a lot of other contemporary brands through my experiences where I have been treated so well, but it's so different when I go to a designer store. The experience is disgusting. I know some people that work luxury stores, and some of these people that I know are some of the most disgusting, rudest, most vile human beings that literally think that they are Jesus Christ on this earth, that think that they are absolutely above everybody just because you have a dead animal handbag, just because you own a Birkin or you own a Cartier bracelet that you paid such a huge markup for. Sometimes these sales associates and these managements just think that they are Jesus Christ on earth. Sometimes you need to come back down to earth and humble yourself. There's nothing wrong if you love all those items, do make a decent amount of living, but you need to come back down and humble yourself. But what I'm trying to say with this Van Cleef drama, just because it's designer, just because it's expensive, doesn't mean you're gonna get the best treated customer service ever. And this has put a bad taste in my mouth for Van Cleef. I'm not a big Van Cleef person. I have nice jewelry. I'm not even wearing any jewelry in this video just because I'm not a big jewelry person. But I mean, it is crazy, and I think it costs them more in PR for them to go through all this drama versus them just taking care of this in the first place. And that's the power of social media, guys. If you guys have ever had a bad experience at a store, a good experience at a store, a shitty quality on a handbag, the best investment that you've ever bought was this beautiful blazer from Veronica Beard, whatever it is, you have the power of your phone, you have the power of a camera, you have the power of a laptop, you have the power to speak up. So I always tell everybody, whatever experience you have, was it great or was it bad, always, if you want to post it online, post it. I have spoken up about some certain experiences, and behind the scenes I have gotten apologies, I have been getting shaded, but you know, it is what it is. But it's always great to speak up, because now other people that may have issues with that bracelet now can reference that video. Hey, this happened to her, they took care of it, what are you gonna do for me? So I mean, it just to go show that customer service is really, really dead in a lot of these designer stores. And a lot of these people that work in these positions think that they're Jesus Christ themselves, when you need to get humble, baby. You either humble yourself or you're gonna be humbled in this lifetime. And everything pays itself before you leave this earth. That's all I'm gonna say. especially the way you go out. Number 3 is going to be Louis Vuitton Beauty under Pat McGrath. So side note, I actually did see Pat McGrath. One of my friends did exchange bracelets with her whenever I saw her in New Orleans, Taylor Swift Night 2 with Sabrina Carpenter. Oh my god, Pat McGrath, side note, her makeup, she is the most nicest, most beautiful, most elegant person I have ever seen in my eyes. And Blake Lively, and their vibes were a little off, but I did see Miss Pat McGrath and she was wonderful. She traded bracelets with my friend and I was a little fangirling when I saw her. When I saw her, I could tell that it was her. Like, you cannot miss Miss Pat McGrath. So she's gonna be co-creating this Louis Vuitton beauty line. I know Pat McGrath also has a very successful makeup line in department stores and in Sephora. But I think that the Louis Vuitton cash grab is just a little bit too late. I think that they should have came out with the beauty line right around when they launched fragrances. Now, do I think it's going to be a flop? Knowing the amount of money that Louis Vuitton has for marketing, knowing that the people that love Louis Vuitton love handbags, love every aspect of the brand. I think, you know, as much as a lot of people were not here for this collab, I'm not going to be purchasing anything from this, but I do think that this is a strategic good move for them. It should have been launched when fragrance was launched around that 2-year time frame. But I think this creative director with Pat McGrath in collaboration, I think that this is going to do really well. I'm not sure if Louis Vuitton is going to expand into kind of, let's say, Christian Dior, where they have concessions inside like of a Neiman Marcus, a Saks Fifth Avenue in their beauty aspects. Are they going to be in Sephora eventually? Or are they just going to keep everything under the Louis Vuitton store? I don't know, but I can definitely see this being the next Chanel, the next Dior in beauty, where it just does so well. I found that Hermes Beauty does well. It's not in every counter, it's not in every store, but I don't see people talk about Hermes Beauty. And when I think of Hermes, I think of a leather goods brand versus Louis Vuitton. I think of them more as a lifestyle brand. I think I could see Louis Vuitton more with a beauty line more than Hermes and more than other brands. So I definitely do see like Dior, Louis Vuitton, depending how Louis Vuitton rolls this out. I know it's going to be in boutiques, but if this is a line that eventually would go into Sephora, eventually would be in department stores, it's going to be like the next Chanel in beauty, and it's going to be the next Dior, it's going to be the next Tom Ford, where this line just does phenomenal for them. So I wish nothing but Pat McGrath and Louis Vuitton the best. I'm actually kind of here for it. I want to see how it goes out, and I can't wait for everybody to start reviewing the makeup, because I definitely will not be buying it. Number 4, unpopular opinion, and I think I should do a reaction video from like 4 or 5 years ago, how I was so anti-fakes. I was so anti-fakes, guys. I was like, no fakes, I hate fakes, if you have fake, blah, 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 blah. My opinions have thought, I have grown up. I do not care about fakes, baby. If you want to wear a fake Louis Vuitton Neverfull, that's your prerogative. If you want to wear a fake Birkin, if you want to wear the alternative, if you want to go to Canal Street and buy a fake Dior saddlebag, I don't care. I don't care what other people do. I mind my business. The only person you can control is yourself. And I don't judge people. I used to judge people for wearing fake handbags. I don't care. And if you're somebody like how I used to think, like, oh my god, you're judging somebody for wearing, there's other things in the world that you should be worried about versus somebody wearing a fake handbag. Maybe go get an oil change or call your grandma, okay? We talked about this before. So I don't care about fakes. I may do a reaction video next month, but baby, if you love it, if you like it, I love it. Go wear that fake Prada, that fake Miu Miu, whatever. I'm not gonna be wearing fakes just because I already have so much stuff in my wardrobe. But if you want to, don't let other people, don't let pretentious people, don't let people that bought full price, like, just don't. If you want to wear it, you rock it. You like it, I love it. So fakes, y'all can wear them. At the end of the day, it is what it is, and I mean, who cares? I mean, it's your life. You can do whatever you want. Number 5 unpopular opinion is, I like how, like, a few years ago, Louis Vuitton was trying to make like the Speedy and the Neverfull such an exclusive, rare, so hard to find bag. Like, you would have to be put on a wait list to buy a Louis Vuitton MM Neverfull. And then it's just crazy how last year they just did the campaign full out, because a lot of these brands, the coins are not coining. A lot of these brands, they're losing a lot of money. A lot of these stores where they took concessions out, they're putting them back in. They're putting them in even more stores. Just because right now everybody's not doing well, particularly the luxury market. You have 100%, maybe 40% are your best customers, but that 60% is your aspirational, maybe a little bit more frequent than an aspirational customer. You kind of have to have, for a little bit, you kind of have to have leeway for every single clientele. Maybe VIC should get a little bit higher treatment, but you should also treat the aspirational customer pretty well. I think customer service should be 10 out of 10 across the board, regardless if you buy something that's $500 or something that's $5,000. I think customer service should always be there, especially for a contemporary or designer brand. But I just find it real funny how Louis Vuitton was trying to make the Neverfull so exclusive, and now it's like you can go into the store and buy one now. And that just goes to show it's the power of the people. I mean, that's why they're coming out with the beauty line, because they need to expand their profits, they need to expand their coins, they need to expand their money, because Louis Vuitton is one of those brands where they can do whatever and people will still buy. Some other brands can definitely not do that, but Louis Vuitton does have that household power name. It's like in every single other song, Gucci, Louis Vuitton references. So I mean, they have the power to do that. But I just think that the Neverfull thing was just so funny, how they decided that they wanted to be exclusive, but then they decided not to, and it goes to show the power of the people. Number 6 unpopular opinion is, I think that Marc Jacobs is going to go through a lot of restructuring. So I used to work at Marc Jacobs, and I just noticed a trend of people just not wanting to buy the tote bag, and they're starting to launch like a lot of other styles of Marc Jacobs handbags, and people are not gravitating towards that. And I think that the rollout of like all these stores, because I have friends that work at Marc Jacobs, like a few of them in like these Texas stores, and the way people bought Marc Jacobs like a year or two ago is definitely not how people are buying now. And I just find that they rely too much on the tote bag, and there's only so many handbags that you can say the tote bag that people are willing to buy. And so I think that they definitely need to do a lot of restructuring, in the sense where they need to come out with another it bag that's not a tote bag. I know they tried to do like the St. Mark before, they tried to do like the J Mark, which those were nice, they did well, but they were not like the tote bag commercial success. When you think of the tote bag, it's like one of the like recognizable contemporary bags that you can buy on the market right now. You know what it is. The tote bag, you don't have to remember Marc Jacobs. You hear the tote bag, you already know who makes it. Or you think of Marc Jacobs, you think of the tote bag. I just think that Marc Jacobs definitely needs to spice it up. Then he needs to go cook, and he needs to go cooking in them long nails, cooking in the kitchen, and he needs to come out with another it bag. I'm not sure what it needs to be, but I mean, the way Marc Jacobs is going, they definitely need to be coming out with a different bag, other than it saying the sack bag, the tote bag, the duffel, whatever. They definitely need to come out with something else to kind of give it more of that because the tote bag has already been done since 2020. I think it's still going to be around 5 years from now, but they definitely need to come out with like another it bag. I mean, I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Number 7 unpopular opinion, I will never forgive Saks Global for acquiring Neiman Marcus and for them to close the downtown Neiman Marcus store. So the Neiman Marcus downtown Dallas is the historic Neiman Marcus store. They have a Schiaparelli boutique, they have the Zodiac restaurant, they have a Chanel boutique. They have like all these like references of Coco Chanel when she, Neiman Marcus carried Chanel, in the States, and they have all these like historic little references around the store, and they're closing it at the end of March, which is so sad that they are closing the store. And I blame Saks Global for this. Saks could have paid, they could have done it, but they're not paying their vendors, so they probably couldn't pay the rent on that. There's a lot of logistics people saying that, they couldn't. There was a lot of logistics of people saying that, but I cannot believe that Saks Global is not keeping that historic. It's kind of like Saks Fifth Avenue on Fifth Avenue, but it's like Neiman Marcus in downtown. You would think that they would close like Willow Bend or other underperforming stores before the iconic downtown. Now, a lot of people didn't really shop that one. That one definitely has such an older clientele. Just even by the brands that they carry, they wouldn't really carry a lot of contemporary. They carry like Acris, Oscar de la Renta, like those very older kind of clientele, St. John, those type of brands. People that shop there did spend good money, good coin, but I will never in my entire life forgive Saks Global, forgive the CEO of Saks for them to get rid of that historic location. That is such a beautiful store. So this video may go out a few days before it, so if you guys have a chance to go see it, I would definitely go and check downtown Neiman Marcus, because it is so sad that they decided to close that store. such sad historic moment for Dallas to be losing. Number 8, unpopular opinion. I think that it is great that brands like Burberry, Versace, and Mulberry decided to recognize their problem in the handbag and accessory market by repricing their handbags. So Mulberry is doing this restructure in their handbags where they're going to be, the newer styles that are going to be coming out are going to be under a certain price point. They did the price point in pounds. I forgot the total amount, but I know Versace already did a price decrease. There was this bag right here. When it first launched, it was, I think, $13.50 or $14.50. This bag is now $11.95. They did a price decrease on a lot of their handbags just because the people are just not buying it. You know, these brands go so excessive. You know, the past CEO for Burberry did admit that they did price themselves out of their, you know, their customer base. And it's great that these brands are getting humbled and being known that us as the people who have the money to spend on these things are knowing what's worth it and what's not worth it. And I'm happy that these brands recognize their mistakes and they are pricing themselves accordingly. Now, there's some other brands that could also do a little bit of a price decrease. Versace, Mulberry, and Burberry is a great start there. But it's crazy because the Burberry outlet has so many crazy deals. Like, the things are like so inexpensive compared to the boutiques. And if only y'all price the boutiques a little bit under, I think it would do well. So, I mean, we shall see. Number 9, Emilia Gray and Emilio Pucci is the worst campaign that I have seen in the last 2 years. So I'm gonna play you some of the snippets of these campaigns and then I'll tell you my opinion.
Eat my Pucci. Yummy. Light my Pucci.
Y'all could have literally gone any random person on the street and just took a picture with them like this in Pucci, and I would have liked that a lot better. The fact that you're like doing all these like references, I don't know who is under this management of Pucci. I don't know what type of younger Gen Z is out here doing. I'm Gen Z as well. I don't know who idea was this to put these as ad campaigns, but this is not respectable. It is a joke. I'm all here for like a vulgar ad campaign, like a Tom Ford Gucci campaign, a Versace, you know, fun campaign. But this is like garbage. Like, this is like the worst campaign that I have ever seen in these last recent years. Like, literally eat my Pucci while you're eating cake. All these like references, like, it is not cute. It is not respectable. Such a sad what they're doing to such a legacy house like Pucci. I just think that whoever did this definitely needs to get fired. I mean, definitely needs to get removed. They are not doing their job, and even all the comments agree. I mean, this Pucci, Emilia Gray, I don't know, did the person that did this campaign like Emilia Gray that they just decided to give her this campaign? Because eat my Pucci campaign with a cake is just not a sexy ad if that's what they were trying to do. It was just not a good idea. It was god awful. It's like the worst campaign I've ever seen in such a long time. So I'm not that I check for Pucci like that, but I've been seeing that ad on my For You page on TikTok, and it's the worst campaign I've ever seen. People are trying to make me like this campaign, and I dislike it a lot. Number 10 unpopular opinion is that even other brands like Chanel are being humbled just because they are putting, you know, Chanel where they took distribution out a year or two ago in certain places. They're re-putting them back in there in those same spots plus more, because like I said, the coins are not coining, people are not shopping. These brands, they can do millions of revenue, but they're still losing a good chunk because they outprice a lot of customers. the quality is not there, just so many factors, the economy. And even a big brand like Chanel is getting humbled because, you know, they took themselves out of certain floors, out of certain stores, and now they are re-putting themselves back into those spaces because they need to make that coins, they need to make that revenue. So I mean, I always tell everybody, be humble, remain humble, because you will get humbled. And you know, Chanel thought that they could be better without them being in certain locations, when in reality they were just doing just fine, and they're putting themselves back into those locations. So even the coins are not coining for Chanel. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Number 11 unpopular opinion is, I was not here for the rollout of the Coach Kiss Lock. So the Coach Kiss Lock came out a few weeks ago. They announced it like a day or two before, and it instantly sold out. It sold out, and for me, it sold out, but I was not here for this rollout. You mean to tell me there are like 50 million Coach outlets, there are 50 million Coach stores, there are so many points of distribution, Macy's, Dillard's, Saks, Neiman's, Bloomingdale's, they all carry Coach products pretty much in every single one of their stores. You mean to tell me that you have these million points of distribution and you cannot create the demand? You saw the fashion show, you had about 6 months, 8 months to roll this Kiss Lock back out, and you mean to tell me you instantly sold out of it? I think that they were playing this kind of scarcity card that like Louis Vuitton Murakami like to did in January. And I hate to call out brands like Coach because I genuinely like Coach, but you mean to tell me a big brand like yourself, I don't know, that just put a little bit of a bad taste. And I'm glad I didn't get the Kiss Lock, because once I saw people review it, the bag was a little too soft for me, and I feel like me with like my nails and stuff, the way I kind of treat my bags, I feel like it would have been scratched and I wouldn't have enjoyed the bag as much. But I didn't really like that rollout. Number 12, which is going to be the last unpopular opinions, and let me know if you want me to make a part 2, because I can definitely make another one. I don't really like to talk about celebrities. I'm not a big celebrity worshiper. There's a few people that I love, like Charlie XCX, or Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, like people like that. I'm just like obsessed with them, but like I don't follow every single thing they do. I like Megan Thee Stallion, but there is like, if I were to hate one celebrity couple that I just hate, and like even like Blake Lively or Ryan Reynolds, I don't really care about that drama. Yes, like I kind of see it here and there, or like Hailey Bieber, Selena Gomez, Belly Blanco, all that stuff. I don't really care enough. But if there's one celebrity that couple that I hate the most, is DVD, aka DDG, and Hailey Berry. They are like the worst couple that I hate so much. Like I have never hated somebody like I just cannot stand them. A Disney princess was in this beautiful Disney film, ended up just being nothing. And before y'all come for me, let me explain myself. So basically, a couple of months ago, DDG, which is Hailey's baby daddy, he went to go buy a Bottega jacket at a department store that was like, I think $8,000, and he wore it in a music video. The person who sold him the jacket recognized it. Then he came back trying to return the jacket. They denied the return because they're like, you wore this in a music video, X, Y, and Z. And so then he goes on this huge Instagram rant and starts calling the poor lady racist, like put her job, put the numbers job, and people kept harassing and calling them so much. And the second time when he came around was with Hailey, and then they were just giving this poor woman such a hard time, a hardworking woman, such a hard time. And she said that people were following her after her shift, people were coming taking pictures of her, people were just harassing her. And the fact that DDG said that she was being racist, and that's such a, and was saying certain words, and you know, for me, an allegation like that can really ruin your job. You can get fired for that, even if it's not true. There's just, people are so sensitive nowadays that people just don't like to run with facts. And the fact that this poor woman was being harassed in this store just makes me like sick to my stomach. And Hailey is exactly the same, because she watched all this get down. Y'all are millionaires. Y'all can afford to keep this jacket. Well, apparently not, because you're returning a few $1,000 jacket. So apparently you actually need the money.
So this whole take with DDG and the jacket and the girl coming out pretty much saying like he tried to send the jacket back after wearing it. Yeah, let's talk about it. So if y'all know what happened, I guess DDG bought like a $6,000 jacket, wore it for a music video for a scene, and then tried to return it. And the girl, I guess she's seen it and she's like, no. Y'all know these people get commissions off they sales and stuff like that. So like, you know, she probably like, no, like you literally wore the jacket, icing, you wore it. There's proof that you wore it. So what are you returning it for? Which I get it, because once you wear something, what are you returning it for? I mean, like what? I can see if it didn't fit or it was a rip in it or something like that happened that, you know, you couldn't wear it because of that. But it's the fact that you did wear it. Now you're trying to return it because you feel like it's no more use for it now. So like, not gonna lie, the girl was not wrong for not accepting the jacket back. Because for one, like I said, you wore it. We have proof of you wearing the jacket. You're just returning it because it was expensive and you want your money back now. Like, this is not, it doesn't work like that. They need to like set up something for these rappers so that they're able to rent clothes out and send them back, because apparently this is not the first time that this has happened. Not with EDG, but like other rappers. Like I feel like other rappers do this as well. They'll buy stuff, go buy clothes, go buy bags, go buy shoes, wear them for a little scene, take pictures in them, and then go take it back. Y'all need to go rent this stuff out. They don't have a system where y'all can go rent stuff and take it back whenever y'all done with it. These stores about to really crack down on these artists and these people with money doing that, because I know they're tired of it. Once you buy something, you wear it, on top of you wearing it, you're posting it, and they said it smell like flour and cologne, it's a wrap. So I don't know, let me know. Y'all think the DJ was wrong for even wanting to return it, or y'all think the girl was wrong for not letting them? What y'all think?
You know, I would, you know, maybe this is like a one-time incident, but also a few maybe like a year ago, Haley and her sister had like a nail appointment. They were late or whatever, and they were gonna get a Russian manicure. And then after the Russian manicure, the lady was like, "You're late, I can't take you." And same thing, they try to play like this racist card and put the business on blast, DDG. And basically this poor lady, this poor Russian lady was pregnant, and then she had to come out and like do a whole video talking about how she's pregnant, how none of this really happened. And you would think somebody like a Hailey Bailey would be like, you know, after you have such a prestigious role, you're backed by Beyonce, you have a beautiful twin sister, that y'all can capitalize on that. Y'all are beautiful, y'all are successful, that y'all have to go and tear down these two women. I mean, technically they both own their own business, because if you're working on commission, selling clothing, that's your own business, that's your own clientele. You don't know if like that commission jacket already got paid out and you're taking $800 out of her mouth, that maybe she needed to pay her rent or needed to pay her car note, or maybe she has some sort of medical condition. You don't know what people go through behind the scenes. And this poor Russian lady, she was pregnant, where people threatening her about her child, like, and the fact that these people don't even apologize or don't even say anything are just so narcissistic. There's just nobody that I hate, celebrities that I hate so much. Like, there's other celebrities that I hate a lot too. But oh my god, DDG, aka Mr. DVD, Mr. Clown, and Hailey, I just cannot stand them. I think that they are the worst celebrities out there. The worst. Like, I cannot stand them at all. I think that they're corny. I think that Hailey really ruined the prestigeness that she had within herself. Now I don't know, I don't check for either or of them, but it's just really sad what you were once a Disney princess and now you're fighting a sales associate over returning a used jacket from Bottega Veneta. Kind of sad how things turn, but that's why you always remain grateful, you always remain humble, and you always keep it moving. But yeah, guys, these are going to be some of my unpopular opinions. I would love to hear your thoughts and your opinions down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Because I definitely have my thoughts and my opinions on these. But yeah, I would love to hear it down in the comment sections down below. Let me know if you guys want me to do a part 2, because I most definitely can do that for you guys. I want to say sprinkle guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye guys, and take care.